name's Seat Lineker, and this is Climbing Naturaliste in Dunsborough, southwest of WA. This is just a short video just to show you when you come on site here with a large group to try and make things run a bit more smoothly and get you through inductions and climbing faster. We're just going to show you how to do our belaying on site and give you a quick understanding of our gear before you arrive here. First of all, this is Holly. Holly's helping me out, and she's going to be doing the climbing, and I'm going to show you the belay device and the carabiners, and then how to belay, which is the main thing about what we do here, is protecting our climbers by controlling the rope on the ground. First of all, when we come to our gear, we've got 3 green carabiners here. These are what we're going to use, okay, to connect on. And then we've got 1 silver carabiner here. This one has been done up with pliers, so you can't get it undone, and you're going to ignore that one here. When we go to open these carabiners up, first of all, we need to loosen off our belay device. And what we have here is a device that if I'm pulling up on this rope, and there's a picture of a climber on the device, if I'm pulling up on this rope, I'm trying to pull rope to the climber, it doesn't come. It's protecting the climber. To get rope out of this device, I'm tilting the device back and lifting up and pulling up on the rope, and that releases the rope to loosen this gear off. The action I'm doing is actually tilt back and a lift up slightly on the rope. Secondly, I've now loosened that off. I now need to undo these carabiners. On these carabiners, I need to get this check out here to line up with the green tongue on the wide end of the carabiner. There is a pin on this side of the carabiner that's stopping it from opening. So I have to lift up off this pin, turn and push in on the device. Again, I'm device. That's what the device looks like when it's open. We only need to open one to release the gear. I now have separated the belay station. This is where the belayer, the person on the ground controlling the rope, is going to be. And I have 2 carabiners here that go to the climber. So first of all, the belayer should always connect on first. And on our harnesses we have here, we're going to connect to this big loop here. This is called the belay loop. So I'm opening my carabiner up, turn and push in. I clip onto my carabiner. My carabiner clips onto my harness, and the first thing I then say to Holly is belay on, Holly. And the second person to clip on is the climber. So the way Holly's doing that, she's going to clip one down with the gate facing down on her carabiner, and one's going to clip up on her carabiner. The next thing we both do is a click test on our devices, and we check our partner, and that's just making sure the carabiner can't open up. So from this point in, I have a belay device here that I'm looking at the climber, and there's a rope goes over a pulley to the climber, and it comes back down, and there is a hand on this device showing this is the rope I'm going to control. This is called the dead rope, and this is also, we call this my brake hand. So this is a second backup to the lock on our device. So at the moment we know I've got a device, if I pull rope to the climber, it doesn't release. I have to tilt the device back, and a slight lift and the rope will come out of the device. As soon as I let it go, it locks up again. To take rope away from the climber, I pull it away with this other hand here. And there's a special way we do that, and it's called the 5-step belay method. And the way that's going to work is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to pull rope up through the device with my leading hand or my strong hand, my brake hand, creating a V in the rope, okay? And when we've got when we say ourselves V to the knee, I'm holding this rope down, and that's creating bends in the rope, okay? I'm not pulling down on the device, I'm just holding the device down. And that allows, if this side of the rope is loaded when the climber falls, that will create bends in the rope, which also creates a second brake in the device. So we do have a locking device, but we also have a method of controlling it with our hand, and our hand is the backup. So when our climber is climbing, what we're going to be doing is going V, pulling rope away from them, pulling up to the knee. My hand needs to pull more rope from this point here without letting this rope go. I hold it with my other hand, I go 1, 2, and 3. This is not my pulling hand, this is purely just up there to guide the rope. Okay, Holly, you ready to climb?
Ready to climb.
Alright, climb on. Okay, so as Holly climbs, I'm just taking the slack up from behind her, and as she steps, I'm taking the rope away that way. Okay, so V to the knee, straight down, 1, 2, 3. V to the knee, 1, 2, 3. V to the knee, 1, 2, 3. So you notice that I snatch that up and I drop my hand quite quickly, and then I swap over again. Holly's a good climber, she's climbing quite fast. She's now finished the route. So what do you say when you finish the route, Holly?
Take.
So take is her telling me to pull this rope up nice and tight so she can feel the security of the harness underneath when she doesn't fall off. To lower Holly, what we're going to do is I bring my hand around to the front of the device and I'm holding it down. Remember, we've got to tilt this device backwards and lift it slightly to make it come down. If I just tilt it backwards, Holly's going to come down very slowly. Notice I'm always watching her, I'm not watching the device. But if I now tilt back and I lift it up slightly towards the pulley or towards Holly, it will start to run faster, and I need to now control this rope more with this brake hand. Okay, and then I bring it down, and Holly's also on the wall. When she comes down, she's coming down with her feet on the wall, she's always watching the wall. When she arrives at the ground, I'm going to hold the device open, pull some rope out, take the pressure out of the harness. So if we can go through that one more time, Holly, that'd be great. So you ready to climb?
Ready to climb.
Climb on. You should always be watching your climber. I'm not pulling hard on the rope, because if I pull too hard on the rope, I'll be taking her away from the wall and I'll be interfering with her climb. All I'm doing is just taking any slack rope that's behind her away from her when she finishes the climb. Okay, Holly, you're right. Okay, and lowering. So now again, bringing my hand around to the front. I've never let this rope go, and I'm now going to tilt this device back and just raise it slightly and find a good speed to bring Holly down at. Again, it's her I'm watching all the time. Okay, so when you're finished, the first person to unclip should always be the climber, because we don't want to ever have a climber climb without being connected to the blade person. So Holly, if you unclip. Okay, so Holly should be saying to me, off belay.
Off belay. And
now when I unclip, I'm saying, Holly, on belay off. And the last thing we do is we connect one green carabiner to the other green carabiner like that, just one to one. And that's just going to stop the ends of these ropes getting pulled to the top of the roof. And I'll pull up on this rope and tighten it all up, and that keeps all the gear up nice and safely out of the way of young kids and so forth. And that's it. So really, when you first come to climbing Naturaliste, this is the gear that you'll be using, and we'll be going through this again with you, but hopefully this video will assist you in your experience and also make it a lot faster for you to get climbing and through the safety induction.